Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stockminer, Brian Johnson, and I'm making professional trading simple. Bulls win again. Had another up day for the Bulls. Dow up 1.37%, S&P up exactly 1.37%, and the Nasdaq up 1.7. Definitely showing strength. The Nasdaq, tech stocks, Apple was on a tear today, making new highs, closing right at its high. And you can see from the chart here, this is the Dow in front of us on the 60-minute, a huge run up here in the last few days. A little bit on Friday, but really the last 2 days have been a major rip up in the markets by the bulls. They are not going to go down without a fight. One of the reasons I came into this day and this week really neutral, very neutral. And this is why, especially after yesterday, very neutral after yesterday. The charts just were not in any way telling me anything. Nothing anyway from a are we bullish, are we bearish type of standpoint. So as long as the charts remain neutral, I remain neutral as well. You can see on the Dow that we have not broken the bull flag as we see here. We had a move to the downside outside of it, and this was a very bullish or very bearish to get it all the way down here. But the markets have had other ideas since, pulled the Dow all the way back up, closed it. You can see here where it fought hard to get above this upper trend line here, and just was not able to do it today. Closed at a very at a resistance area, pretty common. Not only did it touch it in the last 60 minutes of the day, but it closed right at this resistance here. So it's still got a little bit of work to do, but certainly making headway. Here is the Dow on a daily, and you can see the big close above the 20-day moving average. Still in this channel at this point. So right down here, we mentioned this weekend that if the Bulls were going to take over, they didn't really have a lot of time to do it. They needed to do it soon, and they needed to do it within the next couple days. Sure enough, that's all they've done the last couple days is rally. So now we have a close above the 20-day moving average, which for the short term is bullish. Need to see a confirmation candle tomorrow on that to be sure. For myself, everybody's a little different, but I like confirmation candles. I like to know that this particular move has been confirmed. So we'll wait until after Wednesday. Reversals, I like Wednesday afternoons for reversals. Don't always get them, but a very common time during the week to get reversals is on a Wednesday, especially like a Wednesday afternoon. We'll see what happens in the morning, where we start and where we close. But watch for this thing to get a couple closes over the 20. Now, if the Dow's done that, and it's been kind of one of the lagging indicators, you can see that the NASDAQ has definitely done the same thing. If I extend this out, it has now broke above this resistance on the channel line. On a daily, the NASDAQ has come back up and closed just above its 20-day moving average as well. See how this little dotted line is now acting as very nice resistance on the way back up. This will be the next hurdle for the NASDAQ to get over. And so as you can see, though, we closed right basically on the 20-day moving average for the NASDAQ. NDX on a weekly, still not going to be too worried about that. It's only Tuesday. Let's move on to the SPX on a 60-minute. You can see where look how it broke out of this channel. Came up here to test resistance for a couple hours, pulled back down. Look how it held as support twice. And now it's on a move back up. Now, if the NASDAQ is any kind of a leading indicator, or if tech stocks are, I would have to say that maybe we have one more push up here in the markets themselves, at least in the short term. We'll see because of Apple and the way it closed, and I'll show you that here in just a little bit. Apple had just a tremendous end to the day. So we are watching to see if we can get up above this area here. Now notice how this 1060 held as very strong resistance. I made a mention of that in the previous edition, talking about where our resistance would be in the future. 1060 was certainly one of those spots, and we just were able to get over it by 55 cents, so just a small break above the 1060 mark today, but pulled it back down into the 1050 area, and now we bounced for the last few hours, stayed between that 1060 and 1050 area. If we look at the SPX on daily, you can see that we are, man, above the 20-day moving average, but and I could even tweak this trend line ever so slightly, call it right on this resistance line up here. 1060 is ultimately where I want the bulls to get if they want to pull this market back up and start to get some footing where we're at right here. They're going to have to get up over that 1060 area. That would be well enough above all of this resistance for, I think, the bears to realize that they've got some trouble on their hands at this point. On the weekly, not going to worry about it. It's only Tuesday. We'll bring to your attention that we're still fighting with this previous resistance line here. The VIX on a daily, down as well, 4.47%. Back out of this channel and back testing these 20 and 50 period moving averages. On a weekly, still Tuesday, but notice how it's not holding so far the 20-day moving average. We'll see if it can get back there by the end of the week. Apple